welcome to another episode of BCG's Quick Reviews. My name is Barrett Courtney, as always. I am your host. And here, joined with me, are my very special co-hosts and even better friends, the bisexist from Texas, Henry Montiero. What's up, Henry? How you doing?
I'm looking for treasure.
Okay.
And in between us is my favorite chunky punk, Ricky Baldazan. What's up, Ricky? How you doing today?
I'm not looking for treasure.
So what kind of treasure are you looking for in there? What do you expect to find?
Some quick reviews.
Oh!
If you don't know...
Whoa!
You done?
Oh!
If you don't know what we do here at Quick Reviews, each of us brings in one item to do a 1-minute review on. And I want to start... I'm trying to remember what you guys are bringing in. I want to start with Ricky.
I always start... No, I don't even know.
You're like that piece of shit, like, in class, like the Shimoda complains about, you know? Where
I always
like,
do it.
Yeah, there's a point.
I actually don't know if I always do it or not.
I don't think
I always
so.
have to do the work.
Anyway, so...
You carry the show on your back, Ricky. Just do it. Just keep doing it.
Right. I'm gonna edit this later. Yeah, no. Anyway.
All right, start now.
So last week, me and Henry watched a show called
With
With Bob and David.
Which is basically a revamp of Mr. Show.
Yeah.
It's the same show.
It's
Yeah.
literally the same thing.
It's the same thing, and it's just as great.
And it's Netflix, right? That's
Yeah.
doing it? Okay.
Yeah. And it's perfection. It's so fucking hilarious.
It's
still.
so Bob Odenkirk and David Cross.
Yeah. It's everything.
good.
Like, you could tell how much control they have over it.
Okay.
And it's great how flexible Netflix is with this, and how much.
And that's smart. That's like a really smart business plan that Netflix has going with, especially with like Marvel and what I've been hearing with this. And even Aziz Ansari's new show, I hear it's like really, really good.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
it's
100%
cool.
right now.
Yeah, it's cool to hear that like all of these shows like have wiggle room to work in. So
Yeah.
just a little side note, I guess.
So for the show, they have 4 episodes up, and the 5th one is like behind the scenes.
Okay.
And I hope they come out with more.
Yeah, I think
really hope.
they're planning on.
I'm
doing
sure they
that.
will.
Yeah. I told Tom Hawkins to check out Mr. Show because he's a very big fan of.
David Cross?
Well, no, just like of comedy sketches and all that
Right,
stuff. He
yeah.
likes SNL. He likes Little Britain and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I told him to check out Mr. Show because I
Yeah.
think that'd be right up his alley.
Yeah.
And then I told
Some
him
nonsense judge.
also to check out With Bob and David because I knew it was coming out. So
Yeah.
on Netflix.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I give it a fucky.
Oh, well.
And
good.
I hope they come out with more. And
I think they made a statement like, yeah, like we only got to do so much this time around, but we do plan on doing more.
I like that they started off
a little
like
slow.
They're getting into it.
Yeah,
but it's
especially Bob Odenkirk's got his own fucking TV show now.
Yeah,
like
he
I
does.
think Better Call Saul is debuting season 2. I think in March or something. So I think he's a little busy right now.
Yeah.
It's just really weird watching this show because it's like, after how stale like SNL has gotten, like every joke in this show is just like you never see it coming. Is like
And this show,
immediate
like
right
a lot
after.
of people like to, praise the SNL writers. They're not that great.
they're not the
But
with
and it's
Bob-
weird, like how SNL like writers are praised and then they go places. And it's like, how?
It's about who
aren't
you know.
It is about who you know.
It's about
that's,
who you know.
That's how that industry works.
But it's the best skit show since Mr. Show, since
Living
Chappelle
Color.
Show, since Living Color. Like
I should tell my dad to check it out. He really loves Chappelle Show.
Yeah, and it's also refreshing to see David Cross get more work. So
Yeah. David Cross
That's
is a
not
motherfucker.
Chipmunks.
yeah, or Pitch Perfect.
I forgot he was in that
Or
for like
crappy
2
se-
seconds.
Yeah.
Or
Well-
crappy seasons of Arrested Development.
Well, we all know, even with David Cross in that, the highlight of Pitch Perfect 2 is the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing. It's so good.
So fuck you. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you. Definitely.
Henry, let's move on to you. You went to go see a movie, and I'm gonna start your timer right now.
Okay, so I saw Spectre. You like James Bond?
No.
You'll probably like this. It's a James Bond movie. James Bond is kind of like reviewing a Harry Potter movie in that you know what you're getting into. And like,
I had no idea what I was getting into in the 5th and 6th movies. And I fucking read those books up the ass, and I had no idea what I was getting into for
but
the
I mean,
5th
like,
and
if
6th.
you enjoy Harry Potter movies, you're going to enjoy the Harry Potter movies.
No. I wouldn't agree with that.
That's-
But go on.
Never use an example that Barrett is interested
I'm an
about.
expert in Harry Potter, man. Don't fuck with me with Harry Potter, man.
This
But
is-
keep going.
This
keep
is
going.
why I deleted trivia, Craig.
Keep going. Keep banging your point. We can argue about this sometime.
Okay, so as I was saying, so Spectre is pretty much like the most James Bondy movies of those Daniel Craig James Bond movies. But it also means it's kind of almost the weakest if it wasn't for Quantum of Solace.
Yeah.
Because Casino Royale is a great movie.
Duh.
Skyfall, I actually liked it. I know a lot of people don't.
But Skyfall was praised.
I hate
I
it.
fucking hated it.
I hate
and I think that's because you're just in the echo chamber of us two, and we always talk shit about that movie.
Yeah.
But literally everybody else, I remember the group of people who I went to go see it with were like, this film is amazing. I was like, when the fuck is this Adele song going to be over?
It was fine though, because we had Kingsman.
Kingsman is like the best James Bond movie
Yeah.
since Casino Royale.
Other than Samuel L. Jackson's Lisp, which you know he came up with.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
Spectre is pretty much like,
it's average.
it's an average James Bond movie because it fits so perfectly into a James Bond mold.
And like the James Bond formula.
Yeah. Like Casino Royale worked because of where it differed from the James Bond mold.
Yeah.
Of like having like, what if we had someone like Daniel Craig as a Bond instead of, like a Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah.
And so that's why it worked. Skyfall doesn't because it feels too much like a James Bond movie.
Right.
Still though, Christoph Waltz makes it worth watching.
Because it's
He's a phenomenal actor.
Christoph Waltz is the man.
He is my
He's
favorite
like one of the
actor,
best.
period.
He's one of the best actors of our time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I'd give it an eh.
Okay.
If it had more Christoph Waltz, maybe a soft E,
Okay.
hard eh.
Okay.
I think we've gotten to the point where movies are rated on a scale of how much Christoph Waltz do you have, though?
Why do you think I hated the last part of Django Unchained? I didn't actually. That movie was
That
great.
movie is like perfection.
Yeah. It's a pretty
Really
movie.
good.
Like, he was great in that. I liked him in Big Eyes.
I've yet to see that movie.
It's pretty good.
I like it. It has a lot of Christoph Waltz. So, pretty good.
He even made Horrible Bosses 2 worth watching.
Anyway, what do you have to review?
So what I brought into review, I talked a little bit yesterday on the Shitcast. Tease it a little bit of what I was going to review.
That always confuses me because of how, our
how we
recording
record
schedule- our
Oh, yes,
recording
you're
schedule
Teasing
next
it before
to
you put it in.
And it was even weirder, like when we recorded YouTube videos with Annie, and how I was talking about like, oh, and you listened yesterday on the Shitcast, and we hadn't even recorded the Shitcast yet.
Yeah.
It's very weird living the life of me. Anyway, I brought in Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh!
Now available on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Windows computers.
It's very refreshing to hear that it's now available, though.
Well, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
So, Star Wars Battlefront, down to the core gameplay. I'm just going to get right into it. The core gameplay. There is no gore. The core gameplay feels really, really, really messy. It feels very just like someone with ADHD or ADD would really, really love this game because it's all just like nonsense that's going around. Not that that's bad. I have a lot of fun, and there are good modes that work really well with that. Like Henry and I, we were playing yesterday the Blast mode, which
Yeah.
I think works really well. It's just like a team deathmatch thing,
Yeah.
but because the core gameplay is so chaotic, it sort of works well. But when you have modes like Droid Run or
Capsule Cat.
the capture one and Walker Assault, the gameplay is too chaotic for you to be able to actually focus on what to do in certain objectives. So I feel like some of these modes don't work because if it was any other sort of gameplay, if it was like Call of Duty, it would probably work. But for something like this, I just don't see it working. And because of that, I think a lot of these modes could have been, put aside for a story mode. I feel like it was really, really wasted. I feel after I've played probably about 7 hours from this morning and last night. And a good friend of mine, Sean Pitts, says like that game looks really empty, and a lot of people are probably going to be bored after 10 hours. I'm starting to understand that. I'm going to keep playing, I love the blast mode. I'll fuck around with the blast mode like till no end. I'll fuck around with heroes versus villains. Not the greatest mode, but it's you get to play as fucking. You're guaranteed to play as a hero or a villain like every other round, and that's fucking awesome.
It's called being Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Boba Fett.
So the thing
Boba
that
Fett.
interests me on your response to it is because when the beta did come out, me and you were playing it a lot.
I did not like Walker Assault at all, and I remember talking about that.
Yeah, I remember you not liking Walker Assault, but you had a. It's really sad to hear because you had so much.
The hype for it still.
Like you still had the hope for like, oh well, maybe the other modes were like.
Well, yeah, and the other modes are still great. Like
Yeah.
Blast wasn't part of the beta. Blast is great. Heroes versus Villains is really fun. Supremacy is really good. Supremacy
I
is
haven't
the
played
one
that
of the
yet.
few ones that actually works. It's basically like a tug of war of controlling a map, and there's like different checkpoints.
Oh, I get it.
It's really good
Yeah.
though.
I actually got a lot of enjoyment out of the one where you're flying around.
Oh, the fighter squadron is. Oh, I just got to get used to those flight controls. That's the one thing.
So they do have a flight.
Oh yeah, there's like a flight mode.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
just not in space.
It's limited.
No, it's not in space. What I'm guessing is that the DLC, some DLC that is coming out all throughout 2016, I feel like one of those is going to be a space battle. And I feel like they did that on purpose.
It ain't Battlefront unless I'm in Yavin.
Yeah, so because I feel like I have a really Colin Moriarty always says this. I feel this deep in my balls that one of the DLC new maps is going to be the Death Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, you done? I'm sorry if you hear that on the video. It's okay. They got to work on stuff. It's all good.
They're getting it in. It's all good.
Yeah, they're getting in.
That's all good.
You know
I can respect that.
I do have to say,
Get a little rowdy.
if I can say quickly,
what?
the map on Endor,
You said
It's
quickly.
fucking awesome.
I love that map.
It's
it feels so, good.
diverse. Oh yes, this is the one really really good part. Like I remember.
Right?
I'm sorry.
But like, it feels so
I'll
good
get it soon.
because to me, it's like
There's different levels, and you have to pay attention to all of that.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking to myself yesterday.
That was like the one really. I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot it. Like
Yeah.
that when I first played that map, I was like, "Holy shit, this is actually a really good map."
Endor is what I think about when I think of the first Battlefront.
Yeah,
First playing it.
Like
Yeah.
to me, what it is, it's like there's two kinds of like 3D kind of gameplay.
yep.
There's like really flat 3D kind of gameplay, which
Yeah.
is like
which is fine, but
yeah,
you know,
like levels like
Henry likes his girls
Genosha.
thick.
yeah,
But then you have like Endor feels like a whole
like they actually put thought into that
yeah,
map.
and it feels like how I imagine like being in that scenario would feel in Star Wars, and I love that feeling.
Yep.
So I love that map. I love Hoth because you'll always love Hoth.
Hoth is awesome, and the environments are so great. They're so beautiful. They're so
They're
well
really
realized.
gorgeous. It's
and,
like-
and something Colin was saying on PS I Love You is that it's so sad that all of that went in. He feels like it's all wasted because there's no story mode. Because to have a story mode and look that beautiful would be fucking awesome.
I remember during the summer we were all like, "What's going to look as good as Arkham Knight?" And now there's all these games.
Yeah, Battlefront without a question, I think is the best looking game on the PlayStation 4.
Definitely.
Without a doubt. And that's why I'm more excited for the sequels for Battlefront because I hopefully in like their next Battlefront game there'll be a story so we get to like experience more and hopefully there'll be more maps available for multiplayer. So yeah, I want to wrap this up because we're going a little long here. But generally, I do like the game. It's good, solid fun. If you want, I said this in my Let's Play of it last week. If you want it to be like this really prestigious, changing the game for competitive shooters, you're going to be disappointed. If you're a Star Wars fan like me and you're a casual shooter fan like me, you are going to like this game. Yeah. And the last note I'll give about this, because I forgot to say it earlier, you have the choice to be shooting in first person or third person. And if you're shooting in third person, you have a way bigger advantage, and that's what I'm constantly playing as.
To see more.
You see way more,
Yeah.
so you're not constantly guessing like what's around that corner and whatnot. And that's what I'm doing in the Let's Play. In the Let's Play, like I kick ass. Actually, like I think there was like one round where I got the most kills in the game, and it's because I was doing it in third person. So,
Right, that's like
and
one
that's
of
like
the
the one thing that's weird is because either commit to the first person and make everybody do it and not pay homage to the last two Battlefront, or just commit to just doing it third person. I feel like there's a really big shift in advantage when you let people choose what perspective
I know,
they get to play as.
I think that's also just like if you're choosing to play first person, like just that's your
You
fault.
know what you're getting
Like, you
into.
know.
Yeah. So it took me a little bit to get used to third person controls because it controls a little bit like Fallout, not as bad as the third person Fallout, but
You mean this?
it's still a little stiff a little bit. So it took a little bit getting used to, but now I kill at it. So that's my last thought.
You'd be surprised how good I did at it.
I give Star Wars Battlefront a softie.
Yeah.
I really like
I
it.
agree.
Just this when you say softy, it's just
It's like a soft
Just-
dick.
Just, yeah.
So that was this week's quick reviews.
And
Thank
when
you so
give a
much
fuck
for
you, it's like,
Thank you so much for joining us this week. Again, my name is Barrett Courtney. I'm always your host. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you, Henry, for being here with me today. What did you think about the stuff we had to review? Leave all your thoughts in the comments below. Like that like button if you liked the video. Share with your friends.
who
Subscribe
click
to this.
that like?
Shut
I'm
up.
talking here. Never interrupt me during my rigmarole.
It doesn't go past.
Subscribe to our channel for more disasters of videos like just this one. If you want to keep up to date with what we do here at BZG in general, we're on YouTube, we're on SoundCloud and all that good stuff. But if you want to have a hub of getting BZG content, go on Twitter. Follow us collectively at Bayazona Gamers. You can find me personally at Benandler Chong. Henry is at Henry Soares. Ricky is at Baldazan96. 96. I was about to say 96. Baldazan96. I can't fucking talk right now. And if you have any tech questions, all that good stuff, you can always tweet our tech guy at 7Morris. But the O in Morris is a 0. You can check it in the description below. So thank you so much one more time for joining me for this episode of Quick Reviews. And until next time, have a great day full of BCG videos, such like the Star Wars Battlefront Let's Play. Thank you.